You may have heard us talking about our UC IPM or Integrated Pest Management page when we've done our presentations. And I just want to show a real quick demo on how to get to some of the great information on the UC IPM page. So you can see it's here on the screen right now. And if you go to the search engine, you can type in UC IPM. And just as a side note, if I'm trying to track down information that I think might be on this site, but I want to say put earwigs or something like that, I'll just type in UC IPM into the search engine as well. But I'm going to take you guys directly to the page. So we'll type in UC IPM. That home page, UC, University of California statewide IPM page. If you click on that, this takes you to the home page. And so you can see here, we've got home garden, turf, and landscape pests, agricultural pests, natural environment pests, and exotic and invasive pests. For a lot of the tips that we share for the garden, they're coming from the home garden, turf, and landscape pests. If you click on the agricultural pests, that is open to everybody, but just note that those pests are being managed on a different scale with different products that you may not have access to as a homeowner, or may not make sense if you're looking at a yard scale. So we're going to click on the home garden and turf and landscape, home garden, turf, and landscape pests. And here it is. This is the landing page for the home garden, turf, and landscape pests. And from here, let's make sure I move my screen things here. Here, there's a search terms up at the top. You can also scroll down. You can learn more about what is IPM and sort of the basic principles of IPM. You've got your home landscape pests. It still lists agricultural pests. We have the natural environmental pests, exotic invasive pests. This weed gallery is really great for homeowners. It's got some really great pictures if you go to like broadleaf identification, really great photos and tips to walk you through identifying some of your weeds that you might have in your yard. And just like anything with pest management, and weeds are pests too in this case, then proper identification is the key to using the right kind of treatment. There's also the natural enemies gallery. Love this section. This has a lot of information about what the natural enemies, or we call them usually beneficial predators or beneficial insects, I guess, are they all insects? I don't know, but the beneficials. They have a great poster that you can download that says meet the beneficials. You might have seen that at an information table or display. Also, if you just scroll down, you can click on any of these predators or insect parasites. The one I just learned about last year was the aphid midge. Didn't even know what that was. I saw these on a plant with some aphids, and there was little orange things, and there was the aphid midge. They have lots of great photos you can see here on the right. So such great information. You can also click on the Meet the Beneficials. And that's a great poster that you can download for free and print. There is the biological controls. It talks about the type of enemies. And you'll notice here in the center, it says download a PDF. It has it in Spanish. It also has a quick tip and nota breva, or is the Spanish quick tip. So from here, you have lots of options. If you download the PDF, it will give you this document in a printable PDF form. So this is a 6-page document, lots of great information. If you click on the Spanish one, it takes you to the Spanish page. And then the quick tip is sort of the short version. So if you want the abbreviated version, when you click on quick tip, it takes you to the short version. Let's go back to our home and landscape pests section. And from here, you can go up like in the search bar. You may want to scroll down and check this out. But if you are looking for, let's say, earwigs again, let's type in earwigs. It's going to give us earwigs, management, and guidelines. And this is a longer version. You can download a PDF, a printable PDF. And this one talks about the great technique of using a shallow tray with a little bit of oil. Talks about identification of the insect, proper identification, a little bit about the life cycle. If you want to manage the pest, you got to be the pest, you got to know the pest. talks about the damage. So many times you'll see an insect next to damage that it didn't cause. So recognizing the damage symptoms as well. They talk about management, trapping, sanitation, and other controls, and they always have chemical controls as a last option. If you go over here on the left to search, let's search up ants. So we can get ants in the, we have pests of the home, garden, and landscape and turf. There's a few different versions. We could do ant management guidelines. And from here, there's a whole, this is the longer version or the pest note. And this one has identification, life cycle, damage, management. And you can also go here to the quick tip. And the quick tip gives you an abbreviated version. If you've ever been to an info table or seen Master Gardeners at an info table or a presentation, we often have these quick tips. They're about 3 by 11 inches, or no, probably 3 by 8, about the size of a double bookmark. And all of that information can be found here. And then once you start searching, you can click over here on the search engine to look up other pests. So maybe we want to look up gophers. And so you've got gophers. They also have pocket gophers, a few different types of gophers. And here is the quick tip for your gophers. So I just want to show you real quick. There's a few other things. There's a great diagnostic tool that I'll show you in another video. But that is how to use the UC IPM page. And again, I also can go to the search engine. And if I just type in UC IPM pocket gophers, and then it comes up, you can see I've searched it a lot before. We'll go to the pocket gophers, and it takes you right to the page. Here is the long version, everything you never wanted to know about pocket gophers. And if you go all the way down, they have lots of control methods and some other references. And then you can click on the quick tip, and this takes you to the shorter version of management methods. Okay, so this is our great site. Through the University of California, when Master Gardeners get questions to our helpline, or we get questions for ourselves or things that we want to know, this is for all the pests, whether they be insect pests or vertebrate pests or diseases also, or weeds, then this is where we go. Let's search up one disease. Let's search up powdery mildew. Okay, so we got powdery mildew. And I just love this site. They have great photos to help identify and recognize things. Here's powdery mildew. This is the quick tip version. It says up here at the top. And then you can also download a PDF. And this is a PDF of that quick tip. Back on the search engine, when I was looking up the powdery mildew, you also could find the longer version to learn more about powdery mildew. So I think this is the longer version here. So we've got identification, life cycle management, and these are so important because there's so many different things out there that have different treatment methods. I didn't realize that some of the mildews until just a couple of years ago, not all of them are spread by water, and some of them can be spread in dry conditions. They talk about the host. So if you don't have the right host, it can help you eliminate what it might be. So this one again has insects, vertebrates, beneficial insects, beneficial predators, and also diseases of your plant. So one of the things when we go through the Master Gardener program and they teach us our go-to resources, then the UC IPM page is one of them. The UC Integrated Pest Management page is one of our go-to. And not a bad idea to pop onto this What is Integrated Pest Management and give it a little bit of a read. Because when you start thinking about your whole garden or even your home with an integrated pest management site, you can find long-term solutions that are least toxic to the environment. So that's my short video on using the UC IPM page. Later, I'm going to show you about using the UC IPM diagnostic tool. You could type that into your search engine. That's a great tool. And also show you more about our UC A&R publications. Thanks so much. Happy gardening.